There's a moment many people experience when they open their banking app and, instead of panicking and closing it immediately, they feel calm, maybe they even smile. It's the moment when buying a coffee doesn't require mental math, and grocery shopping doesn't mean surviving on instant noodles for the rest of the week. That shift happens at a very specific number, and it's not the one most people talk about. You'll often hear financial experts say you need $1 million to feel rich, or that earning six figures is the real goal. But they're missing something important. There's a much smaller milestone that completely changes how you relate to money. My name is Nick, and I spend an unhealthy amount of time thinking about money, financial behavior, and why some people seem to build wealth naturally while others stay stuck in the same financial loop for years. If you want to understand how wealth actually works, rather than just hoping things somehow improve, make sure to subscribe and like this video if it helps you see money from a new perspective. Before we talk about why $20,000 is such a powerful turning point, think about what comes to mind when you hear building wealth. Maybe you imagine someone born into money who never had to worry about bills. Or maybe you picture years of hard work, slowly stacking dollars one by one. The reality is that wealth doesn't grow the way most people assume. What really happens is that there are invisible financial thresholds. When you cross them, the rules change. And $20,000 is the first major one. It separates people who eventually build real wealth from those who spend their lives stuck paycheck to paycheck. The surprising part is that most people don't even realize this threshold exists. Imagine pushing a massive boulder uphill. Getting it moving is brutal. You're exhausted, progress is slow, and you start wondering if it's even worth the effort. But once you gain momentum and reach the top, gravity takes over. The boulder rolls forward with far less effort. That's exactly what $20,000 represents. Before it, everything feels like an uphill battle. After it, things begin to move in your favor. What's interesting is that this shift isn't just about numbers. It's not only about having more money invested or earning higher returns. The real change happens in your mind. When you have little or no savings, your brain stays in survival mode. Every decision is driven by fear and scarcity. You accept bad jobs because you can't afford to wait. You stay in situations you hate because leaving feels dangerous. You say yes when you want to say no because you need the money. This isn't just being cautious. In survival mode, your brain physically struggles to think long-term. It's impossible to focus on growth when all your energy is spent avoiding disaster. It's like trying to plan a vacation while your house is burning down. Once you cross the $20,000 mark, something changes. Your thinking shifts. Instead of worrying about making it to the next paycheck, you start asking how to grow what you have. You stop reacting to emergencies and start planning ahead. Studies from Vanguard show that even having $2,000 set aside improves financial well-being by 21%. Now let's talk about the math. Suppose you save $1,000 each month and earn an average annual return of 8%. Reaching your first $20,000 takes about 19 months. That's a year and a half of discipline and consistency. Most people quit before getting there. But the second $20,000 doesn't take the same amount of time. It takes closer to 17 months. The work you're doing hasn't changed, but now your money is working with you. By the third $20,000, the timeline shrinks again. Over time, your investments do more of the work while your effort stays the same. Eventually, the acceleration becomes dramatic. At around $400,000 invested, earning the next $20,000 can take just a few months. What once required years of effort now happens almost automatically. Many people assume that wealthy individuals have access to special investments regular people can't use. While that may be true at extreme levels, it's not what's happening here. The real reason this works is simple math. A 10% return on $1,000 is only $100. That's why $20,000 feels so powerful. At lower amounts, investment gains feel meaningless. But once returns start reaching four figures, they feel real. At 8% annually, $20,000 generates about $1,600 a year without extra effort. That's money earned simply because your money exists. The strategy doesn't change. But the most important thing about saving $20,000 isn't the money itself. It's the person you become while saving it. To reach that number from zero, you had to build discipline. You tracked spending, delayed gratification, and resisted impulse purchases. You did this repeatedly over time. In the process, you prove something critical. You learn that you control your money, not the other way around. That ability to delay gratification is one of the most powerful skills you can develop, not just financially, but in life. There's another shift that happens here. You stop seeing only risks and start noticing opportunities. Unexpected expenses no longer feel like disasters. Car repairs become annoyances. Replacing a laptop becomes manageable. Rent increases lead to options instead of panic. At the same time, opportunities that once felt impossible become realistic. Investing in a friend's business, evaluating a property deal, attending a career-boosting conference, these become decisions instead of fantasies. This is what people mean when they say money attracts money. It's not luck, it's access and flexibility. Around this stage, your focus also changes. When money is tight, you obsess over small purchases. Brand versus generic, coffee versus homemade. But once you're stable, those details matter less. What really matters are big decisions: housing, income, saving rate, and investments. Those choices shape your future far more than minor expenses ever will. This shift frees mental energy and allows you to think strategically instead of obsessively. Your career also changes once you hit this milestone. Without savings, you're trapped. You can't negotiate, push back, or explore better opportunities. But with $20,000 saved, you gain what can be called walk-away money. You're no longer desperate. Even if you never use it, just knowing it exists changes how you show up at work. You become more confident, more assertive, and more willing to take risks. Often, that confidence leads to better opportunities and higher income, creating a positive cycle. The mistake many people make is reaching $20,000 and then immediately spending it. A new car, a big vacation, or a purchase they earned. But this money isn't a reward, it's the foundation. It's the seed that grows long-term freedom if you protect it. Over a lifetime, many people spend hundreds of thousands of dollars on cars alone. Monthly payments, insurance, fuel, and maintenance quietly destroy wealth. Meanwhile, investing that same money could lead to financial independence. New cars lose value the moment you drive them away. Investments, on the other hand, compound. Once you understand opportunity cost, your decisions change. You stop asking whether you can afford the payment and start asking what that money could become if invested. Driving a reliable older car stops feeling like a sacrifice. It feels like a strategy. And often, the person with fewer flashy possessions is the one sleeping better at night. This mindset carries into housing, hobbies, travel, and education. You don't eliminate joy, you become intentional. You learn the difference between what you want now and what you want long-term. $20,000 won't make you rich instantly, but it will change how you think, decide, and act. It marks the shift from surviving to building, from reacting to designing your life. Start working toward it today. Your future self is depending on it.